Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to add two methods to the current user controller, and then we are going to create a separate route method for the current user. Okay, so let's start with the controllers. So here I'll create current-user.ts. Then let's define the first method. So the first method inside this current user will be used to get the user data. Okay, so async function read. The name of the function is read, and a request of type request. Okay, and then response of type response, promise void. Okay, so what we want to do here is simple. Now this method will be in a protected route. Okay, so it's going to be in a protected route, and then if we make a request, if the token is invalid, then it will return an error, but if it is valid, it will return the actual user data. Okay, so if once we get to React, we'll see how to use this properly, but it's just going to be used to check if the user is still authenticated. Okay, so the user might be on a particular page, but the token has expired. Okay, so if the user visits another page, we will make a request, and then this will check if the token is still valid. Okay, by trying to get data from the database. If it doesn't get any data, then the token is not valid. If it does, then the token is valid. Okay, so here I will just say let's user, I'll set it equal to null, and then let me get existing user of type iauth document, and this is going to be await get auth user by ID. And remember, for authenticated user, we still have access to current user.id. Okay, I think here, okay, current user.id. Okay, and then what I want to do is I will just check if object dot keys of existing user dot length. So in JavaScript, if you want to check if an object has keys, okay, then you use object dot keys, and then it returns it in an array. Then you check the length. So here I'll say user equal to existing user. Okay, and then here I will just return res.status status codes dot ok dot json, and then message, this is authenticated user, and then we send the user object. Okay, so this is just what we need inside this method. Now the second method I want to create, I decided to create it in this controller. It's going to be the method that the user will call when they want to resend the verification email. Remember, the verification email will only be requested for when the user has logged in. So when the user creates an account and they don't verify their email, they will still be logged in, but on the page in the application, they will see like a banner asking them to resend their password or go and validate or verify their password, or rather their email. Okay, so here this will be called when the user is logged in. Okay, so let me just do this. Okay, and then const email password equal to request.body, and then as usual, let's check if user exists iauth document equal to await gets user by email, and we pass in the email. I will pass lowercase email. Okay, so now if no check user exists, so if no document, then we throw new bad request error. Okay, so email is invalid, but this is going to be very unlikely. Okay, so I'll say current user resend email. Oh, I need to add this as a string. Method error. Okay, then let me go to sign up. I think we created this random characters. We will need that as well. Okay, so I will import crypto from crypto. Okay, then here what I'm going to do is I think we still need this. Okay, we still need this. I will copy this here, paste it, verification link, import config, but here it's going to be random characters. Okay, so here we want to send a new link to the user's email so they can click on it. Okay, and then once we have that, we can call await updates verify email field. This will take in the user ID. Okay, or rather from here, instead of password, we're going to get user ID. Okay, so pass int user ID 0 and then random characters. Okay, so what I have done here is, after creating the random characters and the verification link, here I want to update the user email field with the value 0. It will still have 0, but with this new random characters. Okay, so we need to add this new random characters, and then we want to send the email. So this is the same email we need to send. Okay, so I'll copy this here. Let me copy all of this and then paste right here. We don't need this. We don't need the updated token. We are going to fix this. But here, import publish method, import auth channel. Okay, instead of result.email, I will use lowercase email. Okay, pass verification link. I need to import this as well. So once it is updated, we are going to send the email. Okay, verify email message has been sent to notification service. Now we need to get updated user. So updated user equal to await gets auth user by ID, and then we pass int user ID. Pass, not us. Now the reason why I'm using pass int, this method requires a number, but the user ID right here, it's going to be coming as a string, so I just need to pass it into an integer and then, or a number, and then we set this. So this is going to be email verification sent. Email verification sent. Okay, so this is just what we need inside the current user. Now let's go ahead into the route. Now for the current user, I'm going to create another file. Okay, current-user.ts. Okay, so here let me go ahead. I can copy this. and then paste here, and then make changes. I'll call this current user route. So I just decided to separate them. We're only going to need 2 routes. This is going to be a get, and this is going to be a post. Now this is going to be for current user. Okay, read. Remove all of this. Current user read, and then resend email. Resend email is going to be resend email. So now let me import them. Okay. Next, let's go to the routes. Routes.ts, and then I can define it right here. Okay, so this is just going to be current user routes. Okay, what I just did was simply to just separate it. Okay, because the auth routes, yeah, they are mostly not protected routes. Okay, so they are requests that the user will make when they are not logged in, and then current user, they are requests that the user will make when they are logged in. So I decided to separate them. Okay, so I might be wondering, okay, why are they separate? Why didn't I just use one route? I can still use it, but I just wanted to separate both because this requires when the user is logged in. This is when the user is not logged in. Okay, so we stop here. In the next video, we add the current user to the API gateway.